Research Onion is a model or a framework that is developed to provide a structured approach to research design. It basically consists of 6 layers, and each of these layers represents a different stage of the research process. According to Alexandras Melkonovis in 2018, this process includes a system of beliefs and philosophical assumptions which shape the understanding of research questions and underpin the choice of research methods. So in this case study, I will break down each layer, its purpose, function with practical example. The first layer is research philosophy. So this establishes the underlying beliefs and assumptions about the nature of knowledge and the reality that guides the research. This is mainly to determine the approach to knowledge generation and influences certain methodological choices. For example, we've got what we know as positivism, which assumes an objective reality can be measured. A practical example would be conducting a large scale survey to gather quantitative data on consumer behavior. Another example would be interpretivism, which basically focuses on the understanding subjective experiences. Example is using in-depth interviews to explore how maybe employees would perceive organizational culture. The second layer is research approaches. So this layer, it defines the strategy for how research questions will be answered. So the main functionality would be guiding the planning of the research process, including data collection and analyzing certain methods. So examples of research approaches would be a deductive approach where we start with a theory and a hypothesis, and then we test the hypothesis that maybe an employee satisfaction leads to higher productivity through a structured questionnaire. That would be one example. Another example would be an inductive approach that begins with observations and it builds theory afterwards. A practical example would be observing customer interaction in a store to develop some kind of a theory about customer service effectiveness. Those would be the two examples. And then thirdly, the third layer is obviously the research strategies. So this provides a plan of action to achieve the research objectives. And obviously this is done through ensuring the research design is appropriate for answering research questions. Examples of this would be having an experiment where you're manipulating variables to establish a cause and effect relationships. For example, conducting an experiment to see the impact of having different advertising messages on purchase intention. Another example would be having a case study where we have an in-depth exploration of single case or number of cases. Example would be studying a successful company as a case study, and you want to understand their business model to see the factors that contribute to their success. Number 4, we've got research choices. So the research choices, they focus mainly on deciding on the combination of qualitative and quantitative methods. So we've got two examples. We've got a mono method, just uses a single data collection, like conducting a survey, or mixed method, which takes a combination of both qualitative and quantitative techniques. So an example again would be maybe conducting a survey and gather quantitative data, but you actually do a follow-up here with interviews to get qualitative insights. So this is a combination of both mixed methods. Then the fifth layer would be time horizons, which defines the time frame for a study. So example, would we have a cross-sectional time horizon where there's a snapshot at one point in a time. So the main objective is determining whether the research will focus on a specific time or track changes over a period of time. That's the key. So maybe you want to track employee satisfaction and turnover rates. You would use something called a longitudinal approach. Then number 6, we've got the techniques and procedures. So this is basically it specifies the methods for data collection and analysis, and this ensures the reliability and validity of research findings. So example again would be data collection methods like surveys or interviews. And you'd have a data analysis procedure as well, where you use techniques like statistical analysis. Yeah, that would be very useful in this layer. So this framework was created by Saunders, Lewis, and Thornhill in 2007. It was first introduced in their book, and it's been very, very influential for many researchers. Thank you.